Yeah, me and the cheerleader. Okay, this story is actually kind of insane, and honestly, this story will blow your minds off. But before we get into the story, I just want to quickly mention, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because seriously, it means a lot when you guys do. And on top of that, did I mention that I'm currently live on Twitch? So make sure you guys click the link down in the description below and watch me live telling more of these crazy stories. And also, another crazy announcement as well. Make sure you guys do check out the Bubba channel for crazy IRL content with me and my Fortnite girlfriend. Yes, I said it, guys. Fortnite girlfriend. I know. Absolutely insane. So make sure you guys do check out the content on there and basically get to see my real life lifestyle. You guys will literally see these stories come to life. Like, holy cow. Anyways, guys, let's get straight into this crazy story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story, funny enough, takes place back when I was in high school. And back when I was in high school, this was like my grade 11 year, and I was just getting into sports. Now, I'm not gonna lie, me being in grade 11 and trying to get into a sport was not the smartest idea. Because at first I was thinking badminton, but that wasn't really considered a manly sport in my high school. Don't get me wrong, I think badminton's cool, but like I said, in my high school, it wasn't considered manly. And even though I really wanted to join the basketball team, I really wasn't that tall back in high school. Like, I was only like 5'5". So I decided to do the one risk that I didn't think I could do. I joined the rugby team. Now, I know you guys are thinking, what is rugby? Rugby is basically a British sport, an English sport. It's more like football, but a bit more rough, if that makes sense. I don't know, you guys could correct me down in the comments, but basically I played rugby, and rugby was not really like the best sport for me to play, because I'm not gonna lie, back when I was in high school, I wasn't really like big, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, you know, heavyweight, I wasn't fat, I wasn't what you would say a person that you would usually see on the field. So I remember I went to go play rugby, and I basically tried out, and even if you try out, the rugby team was desperate for players, so they ended up just bringing me in anyway, and I was playing with them. And I remember as I started playing rugby, I got my shorts on, got a jersey on, and we started playing. And as I started playing, I remember my high school had a cheerleading team. I know, it's crazy. We have a cheerleading team, but not a football team. It didn't make sense to me. But you know what? Rugby was basically our football, I guess, in a way. So going on, I remember I was playing rugby, and I was just playing with me and the guys. And I'm not gonna lie, all these guys were big, they were buff, they were rough, and they knew what they were doing. As for me, as a small little guy, I played left wing, and I basically just learned how to sprint. And knowing all my times of me having to run away from girls, cops, and dads, well, I kind of just got really good at it. So I remember I started sprinting every time, you know, grabbing the ball and running my way all the way to the end. And then one day, I remember the cheer team was cheering at the very end of the field while we were practicing. So I remember one time during practice, I decided to literally get the ball for one of our plays, and I sprinted to the end of the field. I literally sprinted, and when I made it to the end of the field, knowing it was only a 3-on-3, so it wasn't like that big of a deal, but I sprinted to the end of the field, and I remember when I got there, I slammed the ball, and then after that, I remember as I did that, there was a girl at the very end of the field who was in the cheer team staring me down. I remember she was looking at me, and I looked at her, and I'm like kind of like glazing into her eyes as she glazed into mine. And I'm not gonna lie, me, I don't have crazy eyes, so a girl staring into my eyes was kind of like a crazy deal for me. And I remember I kind of just walked up to her, and I was like, hey, like, how you doing? She looked at me, and she's like, nothing much, I'm just on the cheer team, just cheering right now. What are you doing? And I looked at her, and I go, oh, you know, just like practicing rugby, you know, cool stuff, gang gang. I didn't actually say gang gang, but you guys know what I mean. I was basically trying to strut my stuff. She ended up looking at me and laughing, and I remember other cheer girls came up to us, and she's like, oh my goodness, like, you're talking to Bubba, like, how you doing, Bubba? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you know, same old, practicing. And basically what I learned that day was that if you play a sport in high school, you automatically get like higher up in the cool people scale. Like, I was up on the charts. I think I brought myself from a 13 of being one of the coolest kids to like up to like a 7. It was unreal. So I remember I would always practice and go to rugby, but not to really practice, but to more impress the women. I know, kind of weird, but it was what it was. Until one day, I remember one time right after practice, as I go to the end of the field and pick up my bag, because I used to drop off my bag there where the cheer girls would always cheer. A girl walked up to me, and she was like one of the hottest cheerleaders on the team. Like one of the like the main like high-end stuff. Like, I'm telling you guys, she was blonde, she was big cherry, she was a W. And I remember she looks at me and she says, hey, like, I was wondering, like, what's your snap? I end up looking at her, and I'm like, you want my snap, huh? Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. So I ended up taking out my phone, I got hers, we exchanged Snapchats, and I went home that day. When I went home, I remember she was sending me snaps of her in front of the mirror and stuff, typical girl snaps that usually they send, and I'm just like, oh, it's fire, you know, that's cool. As for me, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really doing anything else manly. Like, usually guys would be hitting the gym trying to get their next bulk. As for me, I was playing Black Ops 2. I'm not gonna lie, I was playing Call of Duty. Like, that was my go-to place to, like, you know, relax and be on my own. And then I remember she ends up sending me another snap of her literally bending over on her counter saying, what you up to? Now at that point I was freaking out. I'm like, and there was no way I was gonna send her a picture of half my face wearing a headset. So I remember I went outside to my backyard, and I basically grabbed my rugby ball and put it on the ground saying, oh, just practicing, what about you? Yeah, I definitely was not practicing in my sweatpants, but you know, it is what it is. She ends up saying, oh, like nothing, just like, you know, getting ready for our cheer practice and stuff like that. And basically one thing led to another. She ended up sending me her number. Now that was a way bigger step up than just a Snapchat, because usually Snapchat's like first base, then like number is second base, and then doing the devil's tango is like third base. Okay, like that's the way I usually did things back in high school. So I remember the next day of that happening, I remember I ended up going to school and I ended up, you know, walking up to her and just basically talking to her and hanging out with her. A lot of people in my rugby team were kind of like being like, yo, like that's kind of weird, bro. Like you joined the team just to get girls. Like what the heck, dude? But me being a lady slayer, I honestly didn't care. Going on though, I remember a lot of the cheer girls were talking about me and this cheerleader, and a lot of the rugby boys were talking about me and this cheerleader. And in a way, it kind of brought us all together. As weird as it is, and no, I'm not saying this in like a high school musical number, but like we're all in this together is what we really realized. I know, really cringy, but still, we all kind of got together. We started like hanging out and stuff. And then after that, I remember one of the cheer girls walked up to me and all the guys during rugby practice and said, hey, like, so you guys are all invited to like hang out for this like bonfire we're having outside the lake tomorrow. If you guys want to come, like just go ahead and come, and then yeah, just come hang out. I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh, bet, like that's fire. Okay, a bonfire. I love fires. So I remember all the guys were hyped up, bro, going like ooh, 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 as like crazy animals do on the field usually. And then after that, I remember that day I went home, I put on some nice pants, well, pants I didn't mind getting dirty, and a shirt on and hoodie, and basically went over there. When I started heading for the bonfire, I remember I saw a lot of people there. Like there was more than just the cheer team there. And when I got there, I remember seeing the hottest cheerleader that originally got my Snapchat and was like kind of flirting with me. So I walk up to her, I'm like, hey girl, how you doing? I remember she puts her arm around me, she's like, let's go have fun. And basically, I'm not gonna lie, things got a little intense, but I'm not gonna lie as well, this story is getting pretty long. So if you guys do want the next part, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Literally, I love reading you guys' comments on Instagram. I love when you guys talk to me on Instagram. So go follow me at Bubba Streams on IG. And then on top of that, I don't know, I'll be live on Twitch. So come watch me live telling these crazy stories as well. And like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. All right, peace out, guys.
Let's go. Should I make it a story? Let's click record. Got that TikTok with 2 mil hit different with some more. She said she love me, she kept. Should I exit for sure? I got 100K for my life's work, so mama said bravo. All these people on my street, love y'all till the day I go. I got 100K in my plane. I got 100 buddies on my name. I'm making racks off this game. Better hit the like.